Hi, Christina Kowalchuk. Okay, so where were you born? Can you describe it?
I was born in the Ukraine in a city called Chernivtsi. It's a small city, but it's like everybody knows each other type of city. It's you can put Reston, Herndon, and Great Falls together, and that's basically Chernivtsi. But every other city in Ukraine knows about us because it's one of the biggest ones. It's about one train ride overnight away from Kiev, which is the capital.
Okay, awesome. When were you born?
I was born in 1990, on May 29th, 1990.
Okay, so you're born in the 90s. Okay.
Yes.
So, how was your life there when you were growing up? I know you moved from several different places, but can you just describe the whole thing kind of briefly?
Sure. Well, life in Ukraine wasn't the easiest, especially back in those days. After, I don't know what date it was, but when my mom was growing up, Chernobyl, which was a huge radioactive, I don't know how to explain it, electrical basically based factory exploded. So there's a lot of pollution and radioactivity in the air. So during my mom's actually time, a lot of people started losing hair. They had to wear bandanas on their head, started getting sick, dying. Babies were born with so it was very bad. When I was born, the air is obviously still to this day not clear. So
Yeah.
that was all of Ukraine basically was very polluted, and also very corrupt. Jobs there, you don't have to. If you know somebody there, you can get a job easily. You can pay teachers there to for education, for grades. So it's not the best place for opportunities. And we were growing up very poor. We lived with, it was in a three bedroom, not room, it was just 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, small apartment, I guess. It was.
How many people were living in it?
My grandpa, my grandma, my uncle, he would sometimes have, I guess, girlfriends over.
Yeah.
And my dad and my mom and me. So it was
pretty packed.
It was packed because it's a tiny, very confined space. So it was and the conditions were disgusting, like cockroaches everywhere, but that's all of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Because once one neighbor has cockroaches, it travels down. So it was my mom had to sell leather jackets. She had to travel to Bulgaria with my grandma, and they had to import leather jackets and stuff and then go sell it at the flea markets. And then my mom also made flowers, like decoration flowers.
So it was tough growing up there.
For wedding dresses. Yes, we didn't have money whatsoever. It was very tough. And then my father was in there for 3 years of my beginning. He actually was incarcerated. He went to jail for those times. So my mom decided to divorce him, and she met my father, actually, who's Lebanese, also not a citizen. He works for the IMF, and we moved when I was 5 years old or 6 years old. We moved to the United States, stayed there for 3 months.
Okay. And
then I moved to Paris for about, I don't know, 3 years, something like that.
Yeah, and you said you moved there because he was stationed there?
He was stationed there as a diplomat, actually. He was a diplomat in Paris, France, in main city, basically, very close.
So when did you officially move to the U.S. and stay here?
I don't know. It was about 10 years ago. I've been living here. So what are we, 2010? 2000, around there.
So you're about 10 years old
when I officially exactly started middle school and stuff like that.
Okay. So I guess I want to talk about your process of how you got here. And you mentioned your dad. He works for the IMF.
Yes, International Monetary Fund.
Okay, so that's pretty much how you got your legal status. So can you explain about your father, his work?
Well,
he's a citizen himself.
He's not a citizen himself, but that's fine as long as he'll always have his G4. He's gonna obviously work for the IMF forever and then retirement. And me and my mom are on his visa, just as long we're international civil servants. That's the G4 visa.
That's the name of the actual
international
visa.
civil servants.
Okay.
And it's you can get it from the State Department of the IMF and the World Bank.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And as long as my mom doesn't divorce my dad, we are on that visa. And as long as I don't apply for citizenship. So if I choose to obtain a green card, obviously that's how you do it first. You obtain a green card, become an immigrant. Now I'm an alien. I'm not an immigrant on the visa. So if I did choose, I have to leave. I have to give up all rights to the G4 and apply for a green card and then apply for citizenship.
Okay,
so that's when I remarry or something, marry an American or something. If that happens, I have to
go through that process.
I have to leave all rights of the G4.
Okay. So for your visa now, do you and your family have to pay for it? Does it cost anything?
No. It's definitely through
It's because all of his company, the IMF.
Exactly. The IMF, takes care. It's for all families of the IMF. Most of them are actually on a G4 or something like that. There's a lot of non-American working there.
So,
international.
When does it expire, or when do you have to renew it?
I have to renew it actually every 5 years.
Every 5 years, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Can you lose your visa?
Yes, I actually can. Like I said, if my mom divorces my dad and we have no other standing here, like we don't have a green card or anything, we'll be deported after a couple of months, let's say 2 to 3, I don't know. And then, or 6 months. And then also if I have a felony, obviously nobody in the U.S. wants, they have their own criminals on their soil. Why do they want other criminals from other countries that are not even citizens? So I'll be deported with a felony or a couple misdemeanors, but it depends what types. I know that stealing is a very serious misdemeanor for 2 or 3 misdemeanors, I know.
Okay. So let me just sum this up about your visa. So what is it called again, the actual name?
It's the International Civil Servant.
Okay, and then the process or the place you get it at through
the State Department of the IMF or the World Bank, which is located in D.C., both headquarters. Yeah, there's a couple headquarters there.
So, all right. So what is the process to apply for jobs here at school? Is it difficult, complicated?
For my mom, it wasn't, because I guess she's my dad's wife. I'm not sure actually how it happened, but maybe she did get a job offer and then got her Social Security, but I personally don't have my Social Security.
So
I have to first go to a job interview or something, because I went to the Social Security office in DC. They told me you cannot get a Social Security until you come in with a letter, your visa and stuff, and they say, I would like to hire Miss Christina Kowalczyk for the position of ...
And
that's when I get my Social Security. So right now I don't have one. So every time
And what about your license? You told me that you have to renew it every year.
Yes, it's actually a big pain, but every year, and I lose track of it sometimes. It's actually really hard because you don't remember. Nobody has to renew. I have to renew my license every single year, on the date basically when I got it, and I have to bring. I have to bring papers from the IMF saying I want to renew it because I'm actually a diplomatic visa. So in IMF, in the DMV, they think I'm a diplomat, and diplomats get their licenses somewhere else. They're not allowed to get it at the regular DMV because they have diplomatic immunity, which gives them if they get an accident. So I have to prove a letter from the State Department saying she just has the visa. She's not technically a diplomat. That's when I can get it at the DMV.
Okay. And then also travel complications. How do you get in and out of the country when you come back?
The G4 basically, I'm a Ukrainian citizen, so to Ukraine I can go easily, and I think to France too. For you can go there just as long as you. I actually have to open up a visa. I think each time I travel to France or Paris or any other country except for Ukraine, because I'm a citizen, I have to open up. Not like Americans, they can travel for 2 to 3 months anywhere, leisurely, because you're a United States citizen. But me, I have to open up a visa to somewhere and then get stamped that I was there. But coming back into the U.S., actually, it's pretty nice because immigration, there's so many lines, so many people going everywhere. U.S. citizen, immigrants, this. I actually don't have to wait in the line of U.S. citizen, which is a pretty big line because there's a lot of, or the immigrants. I actually can go to the diplomats because I do have the G4 visa, even though I'm not diplomat, but it still works. They'll let me through, so without any lines. So that's actually pretty nice.
That's cool. Okay. Just asking a couple questions about life in America. So how do you like it so hard? Compared to your country?
Truthfully, I am so used to it. Like, I couldn't be back there. I actually went on vacation, hated it. Life there is not. There's nothing there basically.
Yeah.
People. First of all, there's no middle class like there is here. It's either you're very poor or you actually have a lot of money. But it's like village town. I can't explain it. There's not, unless you live in Kiev, which if you live there, it's amazing, like any capital. People there are actually, I can say, richer than some of them here. They have money, they dress well, like you can see that. But if you live in a city like Ukraine, there's nothing there for you. There's not a truthful way to go. Like even government positions there, like they get them through connections, paying money, doing this, very corrupt. So here's definitely opportunity. You study well, you get into college, you actually work hard, and it is like the American dream, what they say. What they say is actually true. My mom experienced it, and I hope I will too. But I definitely love living here.
Okay, so you say there's all these problems back home and stuff, but is there something that you miss about your country? Anything?
Of course, my grandparents, they're still there. And obviously the Russian food, you can never, since I'm a native, and the language, the way people are. Sometimes it's like communication. I mean, obviously I think fully blown American. But sometimes, the jokes and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's comforting, I guess, when you go home. It's like that comfort.
Okay, so have you ever dealt with any kind of racism here at all?
No, actually not at all. People have been, I guess, very welcoming and and more abrasive. I mean,
Okay. Let's see. Sorry. So. How is your experience living here?
The experience living here, like I said, it's I love it. Like, I couldn't live anywhere else but here. I lived in Paris, like I said, for 3 to 4 years. That was wonderful too, but I was so little that you can't enjoy the beauty of anything. But my parents actually said that I was a little French girl. I used to speak fluently, but not anymore. But actually, let me tell you one thing. American, not to be put down an American educational system. Like I said, Ukraine, very corrupt. You can pay for your grades. But there, they learn math, sciences, like they said, very early. Because the United States is rated one of the least, let's say, I guess, strong or in math and science departments. They're very one of the weakest, not the weakest, but like not as strong as Japan, China, all those. Ukraine and Russia too. They start you out very early, and when the workload there, it's very, very, very hard. You have no sleep. It's like here college finals or something like that. So going through high school, I didn't start algebra because I was taught here. If it was in Ukraine, I would start algebra in elementary school or something like that. Algebra 1. Here it starts in 9th grade in high school.
Oh, wow.
So kids start unless you're like, special or whatever.
I actually wanted to ask you this earlier because I know you're fluent in your language. How was that transitioning?
It was very easy because, like I said, I came here when I was 6 years old, and I guess a child's mind is like a sponge. It absorbs everything. You don't even think. My dad, my stepdad, but I call him my dad. He didn't speak any Russian, and none of the kids I went to school with, because I went to elementary school for a little bit here. So it was easy because everybody's talking English, and somehow I just
picked up
in those
quickly.
3 months I learned English pretty well, I would say. To like an accelerated level, but I learned it pretty, I think, decent, fluent, I can say.
Yay.